Hello everyone, it's been a while since I did a Star Wars video, which was about 2 years ago now, around the same time we're doing it right now, but with the announcement of Star Wars Zero Company, a game that I am looking very, very forward to. I can't wait to get my hands on that. I remembered that I like Star Wars, and specifically, I like clones. So when I saw that this was available, I had to grab up the Phase 1 Captain Rex figure from the Star Wars Ahsoka series, which is a show I did not like very much, but it was very cool seeing Rex in live action like that. So, looking at the packaging, this is the newer style of the Black Series figures, which this is my first time having one of these, because the last one I had was the Boba Fett, which came in the retro packaging. So this is my first time seeing this new packaging. I like this, Star Wars Ahsoka. I like this blue, Clone Captain Rex number 16 of this line. Very cool art of Rex here on the back here. Rex served the Republic on the front lines during the Clone Wars and taking orders from Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano first as a captain and later as a commander for about a week until it's stopped. Nothing here on the side here. On the bottom, legalese. On the top, nothing. Black shoes up here. Let's open them. Well, there is Captain Rex out of the packaging, and I have to say, I really like this guy. I feel like I say that at the start of every single one of my videos. Do I say that? I think I say that basically every single video. But I do, because I'm a sucker for the Clone Wars. I always have been. I remember being like 7 years old and going to the theater with my dad to see the Clone Wars movie in cinemas. And I'm sure my dad did not have a great time because that movie, in retrospect, is quite awful. But I enjoyed it. And I still even have most of my original Rex figures, missing the helmet and the shoulder piece right there, but I still have it, and I even have the DVD or the Blu-ray, because at that point Blu-rays were fancy. If you had a Blu-ray, oh my goodness, it was a big deal, and everyone has Blu-rays or streaming or whatever. But I was very happy about that, and I love the Clone Wars. I really do. Clone Wars is probably my favorite Star Wars stuff. Not to say anything else is bad, but it's like Clone Wars is so iconic and integral to me as a person, and I really like this guy a lot, and I want to talk about it a little further. Let's get about the spinny base real quick. And to bring in Rex a little closer here, the focusing on my camera just does not want to focus on Rex at all. There it is. There's Rex. And I gotta say, this guy looks really solid. He looks really, really good. This is the version of Rex that is from the Ahsoka series. This is what this specific one is based on. You can tell because this is not the animation style. This is the Ahsoka live action style, which is more taking inspiration from the design of the Attack of the Clones, which are good clones. I like those ones. But yeah, the Clone Wars cartoon one is the one that I see in my mind all the time. So it's a little jarring seeing him using the design styles of the movies. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's jarring. It's different. I remember when I watched Ahsoka, like that, it was cool seeing Rex, but something about it looked off. I think the design does not translate as well into live action as it does into animation. But that's my hot take, that I think Star Wars is best when it's animation. But I really like the way this looks, because this is everything that I would have wanted from a Rex. It's, he's got the shoulder, he's got the blue, the comma, both holsters for his dual DC 17s, I think they are. Don't shoot me if I'm wrong, because I know Star Wars fans will shoot me if I get anything wrong. I believe they're DC 17s. He's got the rangefinder on here, so that you can slide down. The Jag eyes, the Jag eyes or the Jag eyes, I can't remember. I think it's the Jag, which is the Mandalorian symbol. It's slightly off center, which is a little bit annoying, but you're not going to notice that super hard. The yellow stripes here, the blue and everything, the crest here at the top of the helmet, which is used for a comlink, I believe. Also, there should be a little bit of red there, I think, but it's not. Whatever. I'm basing this off of the one that I have in real life, the actual clone helmet that I have that's in like my closet or something, that I had when I was like 9. I love that thing. I walked around the house with that thing all the time, walked into so many walls and doors with that thing. But I like this a lot. This is not my first Black Series, because my first was the I believe it was the Boba Fett, which I've done a review for on the channel. Shameless plug there. But this is my first in a long time, and I really like this. I really do. I feel like it's got that Sheena quality that I like. It's got the Sheena quality that is the reason that I don't buy Marvel Legends anymore, because those lack that sincerely. But this is really, really solid. Everything about this, the blues, the white is very nice. Now, I saw some people complain that they would have preferred it to be a more weathered look for Rex, I suppose, and I get that, because Rex is usually pretty weathered. He's usually in the most combat you've seen, but I like that it's this pardon me, I just had pizza. This like very standard clean look, because you can always weather it yourself. You can always do work there to make it look a little more weathered by your hand. But I like that it is like this as is, because it's just very clean, very nice, and it works well with the generic Clone Trooper, which I also have, which I'll probably do a review for at some point. But I like this a lot. The Kama here, I believe this is the Kama. I think I'm right. I think it's called the Kama. If I'm wrong, please, again, don't shoot me. Is like a softer plastic, so it can move and you can get some motion there. This shoulder piece is a complete overlay, and if we take the helmet off, you can see Tamura Morrison's beautiful face with the standard classic dyed Rex blonde hair, which that is certainly a look, Rex. I gotta say, it is certainly a look. I know the clones are all about individualism and trying to make themselves look like their own person, but that is one of the looks of all time. This is removable right here, of course, so you want to, you can put this on somebody else, or you can take it off and customize it to your heart's content and everything like that. But I like that he's got the right here, the communications device on the wrist there, which is very nice. The painted blue there. The hands, one hand goes up, one hand goes in and out, but they're both trigger finger hands, because he has a set, like I said, of the beautiful DC-17s. These are two of these, the exact same ones, but these are ripped straight from the cartoon. This is like beat for beat exactly what those things look like, and I love that they're included with this. He only gets the DC-17s, so if you want him holding like the proper rifle or the short pistol, you're not going to be able to get that unless you've bought a clone trooper on your own, which I have, because I'm a sucker for clones. I'm a sucker for people who look exactly the same, as is visible by the amount of repeated like Cobra figures I'll get, just like the exact same guys over and over again, because I like army building, and unfortunately I buy 6-inch figures, so army building is expensive and space consuming, but it looks really nice having a hold that, and you can have them both of them if you want, and they both holster in to his side holsters right here, slip in very nice, so they're not going to come out, I don't think, at least. I haven't had any problems with them falling out, but it is just a really nice look. And one thing I was worried about is you put the helmet on, his head looks a little big, and I guess from certain angles it can look a little big, but honestly it's not that bad. It fits in pretty well there, and also it's just one of those things where it's like you're gonna have to sacrifice like certain looks if you want to be able to have like the pieces removable. Personally, I would have liked if it was just like two sets of heads, like you could have a removable Rex helmeted head and a removable just Rex head itself, because then you can mess around with shape and things like that a little more and bend reality a little bit. But the fact that it is removable at all and you get the signature Rex look, oops, move it there. Oh, there we go. So you get the Rex look at all. It's really nice. Also, if you hear crickets in the background, it's because it just got finished raining, and they are out there right now. They are getting very excited. But I love this look. The shade of blue, the bright white, if I steal a robo bit there, beautiful. The shade of black works really well. All these colors mix and mingle perfectly to create a very good adaptation of this Rex figure. Now, this is the new clone body, and as someone who is recently getting the Black Series figures basically for the first time again, I am unfamiliar with the new body. But what I do know is that the original one, or the older version, has double jointed elbows. Whereas this one has single jointed elbows, and this piece is technically an overlay. It's glued on, but it is still technically an overlay, which means you can remove it. So are the shoulder pieces right here, which are underneath the ball joint right there. So if you want to, you have to pop the arm out to remove these. And this chest piece right here is also technically an overlay, as well as these knee pads. The knee pads are free floating, so you can move them up or down depending on how you want them, which also adds to the range of motion, which is really nice. So overall, this is nice. I like this. Again, I'm unfamiliar with the original version because I didn't have that. This is basically my first time using one of these clones as they are now, so I'm unfamiliar with that older version, but I like this. I usually like double jointed elbows and knees more just because I like to pose them more, I like to do more things, but honestly, I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of articulation to make this guy look as good as he wants to, because for me it's like, with Joe's, they're not, at least visually, not nearly as iconic as Star Wars figures, and if you know anything about Star Wars fans, they are the most particular bunch in the entire world. Happy May the 4th, by the way, if this is being uploaded when I think it is. Happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, of course. They are the most particular, most annoyed bunches of fans in the world, and I'm not excluding myself from that. I know what I am as well. I know that I'm a part of that as well. But if any of this was wrong or inaccurate or off in any way, they would be jumping to the comments of every single Hasbro video talking about how they need to fix it right now. And I think that this is probably the best thing that they could have done. I like that it is pretty much exactly how I see Rex in my head. Like, I could be wrong, and I probably am wrong in certain areas of things that aren't right, but to me this works really, really nicely for exactly what I'm looking for, which is a Phase 1 Rex, because Phase 1 clones is one of my favorite looks for the clones, honestly. I like the Phase 1 look the most because it's not just, I don't know, Dollar Tree Stormtroopers. As for articulation, as we can get past my rambling, he can look up that far. You can see his little chin there. Look down that far. Better range of motion going down. Ball joint on the head right here if you get full 360 there. You can take the helmet off here. He can look up a bit farther. He can look down a bit farther as well. But I doubt anyone's going to be having him without his helmet on. So like that, put that on there. There are butterfly joints. I believe there are butterfly joints on the shoulders here, unless this thing is just really loose and it's about to fall out. Which don't get a lot of motion there, but there's a swivel here at the shoulder, elbow right here. Single jointed, like I said. Hand goes up and down, which we talked about earlier. If I can get that fold down there very nicely. My only issue, really, with this thing is that the overlays make it so you constantly have to readjust and fix things because the pieces are flopping in and out and moving all around. That's probably my biggest issue. This hand goes in and out like that. There is a nice ball-jointed waist here, so you get a lot of motion because there's not an ab crunch. So the ball-jointed waist really does a lot of movement-wise here, which also, like, I gotta say, I don't have a problem with the fact that the articulation isn't as good as some other ones because canonically the clone armor kind of sucks to maneuver around in. There are no drop down hips. It's not a Joe figure. Can go forward that far. Can go back about that far. Definitely cannot kick his own butt, but there actually is a decent amount of range of motion there, more than I would have expected for a single jointed knee. Foot can go up that far, can go down that far, and there is a swivel. So the articulation is a little tight, but overall it's not bad for a, I don't know, relatively cheap figure. As for size comparison, here he is next to one of his brothers, a shiny in a Phase 1 clone trooper, and seems to be the exact same mold, which we will talk about at some later point probably, because I did film an unboxing for this, so I might as well film a whole review for it. So there he is next to that one, and here he's next to another brother from the same father, I guess, Boba Fett, who is shorter than Rex, and I don't know why. I think if we look here, the waist is a little bit short, like the legs are a little shorter, so that makes everything else shorter. It just looks odd because, I mean, they're clones. They should lay the exact same height and they should look exactly the same, but I guess they're not. And here's a figure whom I cannot wait to be talking about. Scorch from the Republic Commandos, who I really can't wait to talk about this because I love the Republic Commandos and I can't wait to get in on this guy as well. Hopefully I can get all of them because so far I only have Scorch, but I really can't wait to talk about this guy when I get the chance to. Now, I thought it might be fun to compare sizes in terms of other like figure lines that are not Black Series. So here he is next to the Mattel Elite CM Punk, who is a lot taller than Rex, and here he is next to the not Black Series, the G.I. Joe Classified Series, the Techno Viper, who I just did a video for, who appears to be basically the same height. All intents and purposes seem to be generally the same height there. But yeah, I just wanted to compare some different toy lines because I thought it'd be fun too. So yes, that is the Black Series Captain Rex from the Ahsoka show. I really like Captain Rex, and I like this guy a lot. I'll be honest, I've been in a weird mood lately where I've been like, you know what I like? I like Star Wars. I haven't thought about it in a long time, mostly because Mandalorian Season 3 was horrible. That killed any fascination or care I had with Star Wars for probably years, but for some reason I'm right back into it now. Maybe it's because I started playing more Star Wars games. But this Rex is really solid. I really like him. I can't wait to talk about that. Scorch we talked about, and I also will probably be talking about the generic Phase 1 Shiny Trooper. So if you like this, please stick around. There'll probably be more Star Wars stuff going throughout the month of May because, I don't know, Star Wars month, I guess, is what we're doing here now. So yeah, that's not all, though, because I have other stuff I'm going to be doing. McFarlane figures and Joe figures, so stick around. Hopefully you will. Please like, comment, subscribe. Everything need to get done for me to give me videos that I have to make. And I'll see you next time. Can't do Yo Joe. For the Republic,